So this is a Catalina also. It's a Catalina 35, 2003. It's a 35 footer. They want 117 for 117.9, I believe. It's got a sail bag, Lazy Jacks, faded Bimini Dodger.
Faded?
Yeah, it's faded.
Have the front part.
Alright, want to go forward?
Yep.
I'm going to check it out and compare it to the 40 footer we just came off of. Okay, so now we're inside the Catalina 350, and it's probably not possible for you to tell by looking at it on this camera, but 5 feet of boat makes a huge difference in the way that the salon feels, the layout of the salon. In this particular boat, it's got this straight settee over here on this side and a straight settee on this side, whereas in the 40 footer, this settee that I'm looking at now actually is U-shaped. The galley's about the same size, roughly, but you can definitely feel the difference. There's a huge difference in the size. And we have an aft cabin back here. There's only one head on this boat, whereas there's 2 on the 40 footer. This is in a Thorpe-ship's berth. So there's the head of the berth, and then goes back under there, which is full of stuff from cockpit. A couple of storage lockers. And then I think the head is up here, and it's shared by this forward berth, which is nice. This is a nice forward berth. It's got access to the berth on both sides. It's got a storage locker there, and then there's a storage locker on this side, and down here is a little bit of storage. You can find it, there it is. And then of course, storage drawers and a door underneath the berth. But you can get into the head both from in here, and it's got a nice little separate shower. Head. And you can also get into the head from the main salon just before you get to the forward cabin door. So there we go. There's also a storage locker behind this door here. So it's still pretty nice, but you know, what do you think, Gene? I mean, how do you?
Well, it's definitely smaller, and you notice it after coming off that 40 footer.
Yeah, you can really feel the difference.
But it's nice. It's still a nice boat. It's still comfortable.
Yeah.
But personally, I like a little bit more space if we're living on it.
Right. It's going to be home, so it really needs
Plus,
to be.
we're going to have a golden retriever in the boat with us.
Oh, yeah. That's right, Clyde.
Keep in mind too that the big table's not here. They have a little table.
Yeah, that's true. There was a very small table. The other boat had a much larger table, and there was still as much room to walk behind the table of that big table as there is here with the small one. So
they have a table, but they're storing it in the back.
Yeah, the bigger table is back there.
They took it down.
They took it down to make it easier for people to walk back and forth there. You see the table back there.
So that will really.
Yeah. That's really gonna. Yeah, it's really gonna cut down.
I think we ought to look for 40 footers in general.
40 footers in general?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just my
opinion.
Trying to vote here shortly.
Still on the Catalina 35. You can see all the lines are led aft here. And that's part of the boat. And then there's the cockpit here. It's a fairly nice cockpit. It's pretty wide. There's Gene. And
there's Gene, and there's Mark.
Let me stand up here. Shot here. The wheel there. A small table. And so you can definitely tell the difference between a 35 footer and a 40 footer, though. It's amazing what 5 feet will do. So here we are. We're in this is a 42 foot Catalina, and it's a 1989 version. It's a very nice boat. It's got this is the forward cabin here, and it's kind of nice. It's an offset berth here, a very large berth, seating area on the side, and plenty of stacked storage. And then there's a hanging locker behind the door here, and then additional storage right there, and of course lots of space up on top. There's a lot of opening hatches in here, lots and lots of them. And then of course there's you go forward to the forward head. And there's a separate little shower area. And there's an opening hatch up there. It's covered right now. And that's the only light in the forward head. There's both of them. 42 feet. It's very dark though, it's because of the wood. The wood is dark. So we would have to definitely lighten up the wood.
And the cushions.
And then the cushions are outdated, they're very old, you can tell, 89 version. So we just have to fix that. But those are minor compared to everything else that's good about the boat. Nice big boat. It's got the aft staterooms are double. It's a double aft stateroom. And it also has an aft head, which is right here in the salon behind this door. There's another head right here. So this is nice. So there is two heads, makes it comfortable and nice for guests. So they don't have to share a head on her. And these aft cabins, while they're not huge, they're actually, well, they're not huge back here. They're fairly good size. Not a whole lot of storage, but I mean, you know. Yeah, I'll be up in a second. Quite a bit of room in there. And of course, stairs and the engine access is beneath the stairs here. And up to the cockpit area.
93.
So we're on a 1993 Catalina. Another Catalina. It's a 36-footer. It's a totally different layout though. The L-shaped galley over here. Now, this is much lighter in interior. The wood is lighter, and you can really feel the difference in how the boat feels. It feels much larger because it is lighter inside. And they've used the U-shaped settee and the larger table here. And then, of course, across over here, you have the nav station, which is behind this door. So it's a dedicated nav station. And you have two little chairs and a table that folds down right there. On that side. So it's a pretty good use of space really when you think about the boat. It's a nice use of space. They've done a really good job. And then here you have a nice big berth back here. And it goes underneath there quite a ways. It's opening hatches down in here. Pretty good storage. There's a hanging locker and some drawers. I think there's only one head in this boat. We have more storage. There's the knee berth there, and then just to the port of it is the head, which is the combination shower. And you can actually access the knee berth from the head as well. Of course, all the cockpit cushions are stored up here. But that's a nice big berth. There's some storage right here. And a view looking back towards the companionway. So, Gene, tell me, what are your thoughts on this boat? I mean, you've been on two 40-foot Catalinas, Gene. You've been on a 42-foot Catalina. Now you've on this 36-footer. What do you think? How does it compare?
For a 36-footer, it seems more spacious, but I think it's just that psychological effect with the lighter wood. And there's a lot more windows that bring in a lot of the natural light. I would still, I mean, there's a lot of seating areas which I think we could do better in making extra space somehow. Eliminating or taking out a table or something.
Well, this
something
table,
we could do on our own.
the table that's sitting right next to you, that table actually folds down.
Yeah, that
out
would
of
make
the
it
way.
better too. It would even be nice to just take out a whole section of the seating area and open the kitchen up. But that's a major construction.
Yeah, that would be a major change.
But, yeah, there's a lot of seating.
Well, one of the reasons why they keep the galleys tight like that is so that while you're in the seaway you can lean and you can prop yourself up, and that's why they keep them close. It's for safety purposes. So if it was big and open and wide, you'd have difficulty holding on in there when the boat's moving around. So It's one of the reasons you're going to find in most boats that the galleys are fairly
Show the galley. Have it
fairly
show the
tight.
galley.
Yeah, I think I did. I think we showed the galley and sink and stove. This is a nice boat, though. Would you say this is a pretty nice boat?
Yeah, it is. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Has a good, comfortable feel to it overall. Is this the?
That's the aft cabin.
So there's one head.
Two. Yeah, one head.
Oh, they have a little window you can open.
Yep. So do you think, based on what this feels like, it being 36 feet, as opposed to the 40 foot, do you think that you could see yourself in a boat like this, in a 36 foot boat, as opposed to the 40 foot boat, or are you still?
I'm still kind of partial to the 40 foot. Although this isn't bad.
Yeah.
If we were to take a 36 footer, this isn't really bad at all.
Now you've been in some 38 foot boats. You've been in some 38 foot Benettos. In fact, you've been in Benetto's newest 38 foot, the one without the bulkhead forward, where the V berth is open to the salon. Do you remember that boat?
Yeah.
Now, thinking about that boat, that's only 38 feet. How did that boat make you feel compared to the 40 foot boats?
That felt even bigger, obviously, because it didn't have that bulkhead there.
Yeah.
If you don't mind sleeping out in the open, which a lot of times if you're just two people on a boat, it doesn't matter anyway.
Right. Yeah.
But we haven't seen any of those here. I think those are mainly in the newer boats, aren't they?
Yeah, that's their newer model. We haven't seen a new model Benetto here. We've seen a couple older models, but
It's a nice galley.
it is a nice galley.
Not a
I like the layout of the boat completely. It's a nice layout.
How many burners on this?
I don't know. Probably just two.
Yeah, two burners, cutting board.
Finished our open house tour of the boats here at Waterford Marina. This is a Little Yacht Sales open house. This is the second open house they've had this year. Lots of nice boats to look at, mostly Catalinas. We looked at a lot of Catalinas today. But one of the things that's been good about doing this is that we've been able to kind of narrow down what kind of boat we like. And in seeing all kinds of different kinds of boats, you can get a feel for what you like in a boat when you go inside the boat. Now, there's a lot of other things to consider, obviously construction and quality of construction, those kind of things. And then there's always the issue of keels and whether a fin keel is good or a full keel is good. How kindly the craft is in the seaway. All these things are considerations, but if you're going to live on this thing, I think the first priority you have that you have to tackle is how do you feel on the boat? Do you feel good or bad? And by looking at all these different boats that we've been looking at, we've been able to get a good feel for what's comfortable for us. And we've pretty much figured it out that the lighter the interior, the wider the interior, and we've kind of moved ourselves from, say, being willing to accept the 35-foot boat, almost now kind of saying, okay, we're going to push the envelope a little. We're up now to around the 40-foot range because that's really what feels comfortable for us. And if it's going to be our home, then that's the decision that we got to make, and that's the kind of decision that anybody that buys a boat has to make. And so now that we've kind of figured that out, we can start looking at some of the other issues that I mentioned, like the fin versus the full keel, and find out really just how much that's going to impact us. The questions that you have to ask yourself to figure that stuff out is, what kind of sailing are you going to do? What do you expect to do with the boat? And so those are questions that obviously have to be answered. But coming to these boat open houses where you can see lots and lots of boats, and I'll just give you we didn't look at every single boat, but I'll give you an example of some of the boats. There was Creelocks, Genoes, Benettos, Cals, Newports, Catalinas, Endeavors. There's a CS here. So lots of different kinds of boats to look at, all sailboats. We didn't look at any power boats. So anyway, well, we really appreciate the fact that you want to follow along with us and be a part of our journey, and we're glad that you're watching. We really appreciate it. We love it when you guys make comments. We certainly would like to know what you think about these boats that we've been looking at, and what your thoughts about full keel versus fin keel versus beamy boat, those kind of things. What do you think about it? We'd really like to hear from you. That's the whole point of this exercise with YouTube, is to be able to have an interaction it helps us, and we hope it helps others as well. So again, thank you for watching, and we really would appreciate it if you'd subscribe to our channel and keep up with us, and send us comments and help us to find thunder. Thanks again.